want to know, and I'm being completely sincere, what's true? The true things are the things that you can't say. I cannot remember the last time someone in public life was prosecuted or even criticized for lying. If lying was a crime, I mean, your governor would be in Supermax for life. If being incompetent was a felony, she'd be on death row. Banning paint sales during COVID? It's unbelievable. But there's no penalty for lying and there's no penalty for incompetence. So what do we penalize? Every society penalizes something. There's a death penalty offense in every society from the beginning of time. What's ours? It's telling the truth. If you tell the truth, the real truth, the no BS truth, like what's actually going on here? Is this actually working? And no, it's not. Why isn't it working? If you were to be honest about that, you're done. So you have to ask yourself, like, what does it say about a society where the only penalty is for noting what's true? It says something pretty bad about that society. Do you want to live in a place where lying is mandatory? No! It's a third world country, as someone just said. Literally 2 days ago, I was in downtown Buenos Aires, and I said to somebody, the economy's completely collapsed, they have hyperinflation, and they said, what's the exchange rate on the peso, the Argentine peso, to the US dollar? And they're like, well, the government claims it's 350 pesos to the dollar, but actually it's over 700. I was like, so the government lies about what the value of its own currency is? Oh, absolutely. I was like, that's crazy. And by the way, to pay for lunch, it takes a stack of pesos the size of a cinder block. And you need a backpack just to buy a pack of cigarettes. It's unbelievable. But I was like, I can't believe the government lies about the value of its own currency. And I was like, oh, wait, sorry. I shouldn't be surprised. Because mine does too. And about everything else. So if you want to make that better, and I'll stop with this, I think the only answer is to tell the truth calmly and slowly and fearlessly. Everybody knows what it is. They'll come at you. First they'll tell you you're hurting someone's feelings, you're mean. That's always the first. Then they're trying to appeal to your basic decency and then subvert it. No one wants to be mean. They did this during COVID. Well, you should take the shot. Well, what's in the shot? Shut up and take it. But I don't need the shot. I already had COVID. You know, I'm 26. I just ran a Ironman. Shut up and take the shot. Well, what if I don't want to? You're killing your grandparents. Okay. And so that's the first thing they do. They accuse you of being mean. Then the second thing they do is they call you insane. You're a conspiracy theorist. Really? If I were the sort of person who gloated, I would keep a list of all the times I personally have been called a conspiracy theorist or a wacko, and then compare them to the outcome 5 years later. They all turned out to be true. And I try to be a decent Protestant, not brag about myself, but like, the list is long. Very long. And then the third thing they do is just criminalize telling the truth. And you're seeing that now. There are people who are going to jail for non-trivial lengths. By the way, anyone who's ever been to a jail knows, and there are a bunch of sheriffs here, and they know best of all, any time in jail is not trivial. Any time behind bars. A drunk driving offense for a night can change your life. You don't want to go to jail. Period. It's not a joke. And anyone who tells you, oh, he's going to Club Fed where they have volleyball. Right. Taking away a person's freedom and locking him in a cage where he can't see the stars at night is, short of killing him, maybe more than killing him, the gravest thing you can do to another human being. So no one should ever minimize the penalty of prison time or jail time. It's profound. It'll destroy you and your family. And they're sending people to prison for saying that the last election was rigged, which it was. So, oh, how can you say the last election was rigged? Well, when the country's largest law enforcement organization, the FBI, actively works on behalf of one political party, and when its largest intelligence gathering agency, the CIA, does the same, it's a little bit like what's happening in Michigan. When federal employees paid for by the tax dollars of everyone take an aggressive position on the side of one political party, you can't have a fair election. Because you're using public money to put your thumb on the scale on behalf of a partisan cause. It is totally immoral. And it's not free and fair. If our election took place in Bolivia, the 2020 presidential election took place in Bolivia, I can promise you the State Department would report back and say that was not a free and fair election. And Wikipedia would report it was a clouded election because there was fraud and interference, which there was. If some oligarch, some tech oligarch, spent nearly $500 million to control the mechanics of the Bolivian election in 2020, we would say it's not a legitimate election. But when Mark Zuckerberg does it in the United States, he's just helping with COVID. Yeah, he's really afraid of COVID, I'm sure. Yeah. So for saying that out loud, people are going to prison. And, of course, the whole point is to convince you not to say it out loud. So, don't let them. That's the only point. Don't let them. And if you keep telling the truth, some of you probably get indicted by Dana Nessel. Well, you're going to women's prison, a little better. But still prison. But it's worth it. Anyway, don't be intimidated. Your children's future depends on your bravery.